Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Yes, today is Sunday. It is 31st of May. Okay, so today again it is Adhika Masa or Purushottama Masa, Sukla Paksham and Paurnimi Tithi. So the quote of the day, today is the 15th day of Purushottama month. So the quote of the day is, the essence of Purushottama month is loving devotional service to Krishna. Krishna is conquered not by wealth or power, but by devotion. A humble heart attracts the Lord's attention very quickly in this sacred month. So this is quote of the day. It resembles the humble mood. So Lord's instructions from all the scriptures. So that is from quote of the day. So for now, we shall move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam. So Maitreya Muni, so far he has spoken to Vidura on the pastimes of Varaha Bhagavan, and then later on Sukadeva Goswami describing to Parikshit Maharaj about the mood of Vidura. Vidura is so inquisitive, so he wanted to hear more and more, and he has folded his hands and lifted and then asking Maitreya Muni to speak more about the details of Varaha Bhagavan. So that is Sukadeva Goswami commentary that Nishamya Kaushar Vinopavarnitam Harehe Katam Karana Tukaratmanaha Punaha Sa Paprachatam Buddhitanjalihi. Keeping hands folded and lifting, please explain more. Likewise, he is asking, Tam Buddhitanjalihi. Nacha Atitrupto Viduro, and he is not completely satisfied. He wanted to hear more. Nacha Atitrupto Viduro Drutavrataha, who has taken a vow. Okay, so in such a way, Sukadeva Goswami mentioned to Parikshit. Now he is going to enter into the again questions of Vidura. What questions Vidura has inquired from Maitreya. So today he is saying, oh my dear Maitreya Muni, oh Muni Sreshta. So I have heard about these pastimes of Varaha Bhagavan. He has lifted that and also he has killed the Hiranyaksha demon. Likewise, he is mentioning before he is asking to question more and more. Okay, that is the shloka today. We are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, chapter 14, verse number 2. Vidura Vacham Te Naivatu Munisreshta Harina Yajnamurtina Adidaito Hiranyaksho Hata iti Anukushrama Te Naivatu Munisreshta. So here Vidura is saying to Maitreya, Te Naivatu. So by him eva, certainly Te Naiva. But Munisreshta, O chief among the sages, Harina Yajnamurtina, by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the form of the sacrifices, Harina Yajnamurtina, Adidaito Hiranyaksho. Adidaita is the Hiranyaksha, original demon. Adidaito Hiranyakshaha, by the name Hiranyaksha. Hata iti, so he was slain like this, Anusishrama, I have heard in succession. So it is not from hearing from here and there. Sometimes people will say that I have heard from someone. They do not put anything here. Where one should hear, uh, evam parampara praptam. One has to hear from the disciplic succession, in the bona fide spiritual succession, not from unauthorized sources. So this is Vidra is mentioning to Maitreya. तेनैव तु मुनिश्रेष्ठा हरिणा यज्ञमूर्तिना आदिदैत्यो हिरण्याक्षो कथ इति अनुसुश्रुम. Translation. Shri Vijaya said, O chief amongst the great sages, I have heard by disciplic succession that Hiranyaksha, the original demon, was slain by the same form of sacrifices, the personality of Godhead, Lord Boar. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you. Can I request Radharani Mataji, would you like to read the purport if you're available? If not, Pundata Mataji, would you like to, please?
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Hare Krishna, everyone. As referred to previously, the boar incarnation was manifested in 2 millenniums, namely Swayambhu and Chakshashu. In both millenniums, there was a boar incarnation of the Lord, but in the Swayambhu millennium, he lifted the earth from within the water of the universe, whereas in the Chakshashu Chakshusha millennium, he killed the first demon Hiranyaks. In the Swayambhu millennium, he assumed the color white, and in the Chakshusha millennium, he assumed the color red. Vidura had already heard about one of them, and he proposed to hear about the other. The two different boar incarnations described are the one Supreme Personality of Godhead. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Mataji. It is a kind of it's a insight about the two incarnations of the Lord both. So in the previous chapter, in the 13th chapter, where Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he has described. Also, would you like to read this, Mataji? One second.
Yeah. According to Srila Jeev Goswami, the Vedic literatures describe the incarnation of Lord Varaha boar in two different devastations, namely the Chakshusha devastation and the Swayambhu devastation. This particular appearance of the boar incarnation actually took place in Swayambhu devastations, when all planets other than the higher ones, Jana, Mahar, and Satya, merge in the water of devastation. This particular incarnation of the boar was seen by the inhabitants of the planet mentioned above. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti suggests that the sage Maitreya amalgamated both the boar incarnations in different devastations and summarized them in his description to Vidura. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu.
After Krishna has departed to the abode of the Lord. So that is around 5,000 years ago. So here, whenever Maitreya Muni is describing about the two different incarnations, of course, actually only one, in the context of Swayambhu Manu wanted to expand his progeny. Okay, that is the context. So during that time, that was sunken in the water, and Lord has appeared from the nostril of Lord Brahma, and then that is called Yajnavaraha, and he has lifted the earth from the Garbhodaka ocean. And then later on, Maitri Muni also describing, so he has killed Hiranyaksha demon. Hiranyaksha has he is the son of Diti Mata. Diti Mata is there. She is the wife of Kashyapa. Kashyapa is the son of Marichi. So likewise, that is, but that has happened in the Ch13 Manvantara, and Maitreya Muni combining the both incarnations. So in the coming back to this one, 14th one, so here Prabhupada is quoting here to the previous purport or insight of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Um, he lifted the earth from within the water of the universe in the Swayambhuman millennium. This Varaha Bhagavan lifted the earth from within the water of the universe, whereas in the Chakrusha millennium, he killed the first demon. He killed the first demon, Hiranyaksha. That is the insight here. And Yajnavaraha is the white color, and whereas the another Varaha appeared in the Chakrusha Manvantara is red color. He has shown red color. And Vidra is mentioning about he proposed to hear about about the Hiranyaksha, the red color demon. Sorry, red color Varahadev Bhagavan. This is Raktavarnam. Raktavarnam is reddish color. So he has killed Hiranyaksha. So then here, one thing is only to be heard, what we can take from this purport to reflect on. We have heard from, he has heard from the Anususurama is the main word to speak on this. Any kind of conversations, any kind of discussions, any kind of conclusions should be heard from the disciplic succession. In the disciplic succession, all the scriptures are discussed. They do not say like I think, like personal opinions. But sometimes here, in these circumstances, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, it is his opinion. It is his opinion. Again, if we go back and see that one, Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur suggests that, but he is not concluding that. It is not concluding. It is a just insight. And also, Jiva Goswami, they also give kind of a different, describe incarnation of Lord Varaha into different devastations. But actually, one has to take the scripture as it is without personal contemplation. So, for example, this happens millions of years ago. Millions of years ago, and what it means to us. We live only for 100 years. That is also just hardly we struggle to live for 100 years. What it means to us. So we hear past times of the Lord and derive happiness from that one. Our Lord has lifted the Lord has killed the demon. Okay, so when we see what it means to us, that is what is essential for ourselves. But the Lord has done so many things, but sometimes these conversations are question and answers, it may not be exactly in the chronological order. So, okay, that is how but here one has to hear from the Anususurama, from the disciplic succession. Okay, that is from the shloka. Okay, likewise, Vidra started inquiring. So, Tenaiva to Munisreshta Harina Yajnamutina, Adidaito Hiranyaksho, Hata iti Anususurama. Okay, let me devotees take it and to recite at first initially to follow line by line. Viduravovacha
Vidura
Tenaiva tu Munisreshta
तेनिहतु मनिश्रेष्ठ
Vishta
Harina Yajnamurtina
हरिणायज्ञमुक्तिना
Adidaicho Hiranyaksho
Aditya
Hata iti Anususrama.
Hataiti Anusurma
Again. Viduravovacha
Vidura
Duravacha
तेनैव तु मुनिश्रेष्ठ
तेनैव मुनिश्रेष्ठा
श्रेष्ठा
हरिणा यज्ञमूर्तिना
हरिणा
यज्ञमूर्तिना
आदिदैत्यो हिरण्याक्षो
आदिदैत्यो हिरण्याक्षो
हत इति अनुसुश्रुम
हत इति अनुसुश्रुमा
Once more. विदुरवाच
विदुर
Viduravāca
तेनैव तु मुनिश्रेष्ठा
तेनैव
तु मुनिश्रेष्ठा
हरिणा यज्ञमूर्तिना
हरिणा
हरिणा
यज्ञमूर्तिना
आदिदैत्यो हिरण्याक्षो
आदिदैत्यो हिरण्याक्षो
आदित्यनाक्षो
हत इति अनुसुश्रुम
हत
हत
इति अनुसुश्रुमा
Very beautiful. Can you request devotees take it up to the side? Jay Mata, you want to start?
Yes, Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. Vidura uvacha tenaiva tu muni shrestha harina yagna murtina adidaityo hiranyaksho hata iti anushushruma. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Then Lata Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna. तेनैव तु मुनिश्रेष्ठा हरिणा यज्ञमूर्तिना आदिदैत्यो हिरण्याक्षो हत इति अनुशुश्रुमा. हरे कृष्ण.
Very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. And Asha Mataji, please.
हरे कृष्ण विदुर उवाच तेनैव तु मुनिश्रेष्ठ हरिणा यज्ञमूर्तिना आदिदैत्यो हिरण्याक्षो हद इति अनुशुश्रुम. Sorry, bro, I tried to copy mother.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Garugi Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी के विदुरवाच तेनैवातु मुनिश्रेष्ठ हरिणा यज्ञमूर्तिना आदिदैत्यो हिरण्याक्षो हत इत्या सुश्रुमा. हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Sita Sundari Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna Danvat Pranam. Yes. Vidura Uvacha sorry. Tenaiva tu muni srishtha hiranya igna murtina Adidaita Hiranyaksha Hata iti Anushusruma.
You want to do it again, Mataji?
Yeah. Vidura Uvacha Tenaiva tu muni srishta Harina yagna murtina Adidaita Hiranyaksha Hato iti anusushruma.
Very beautiful. Very nice. Ramlala Prabhuji.
No, sorry, Prabhuji.
Sure, Mataji.
Not feeling good.
Meena Mataji, please.
विदुरवाच तेनेव तु मुनिश्रेष्ठ हरिणां यज्ञमूर्तिना आदिदेत्यो हिरण्याक्षो हत इति अनुशुश्रुमा.
Very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Usha Mataji, please.
Yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Vidura uvacha tenev tu munishrestha harina yajnamurtina adideityo hiranyaksho ata iti anusushruma.
Very
Hare
good.
Krishna.
Thank you,
Thank
Mataji.
you, Prabhu.
But the one is available. If not, that is fine. Okay, so that is Tenevatu Munistesta Harinai Murtina, Aldeito Hirinyaku, Pataiti, Anisisrama. So would you like with the translation method, please?
Yes, Prabhu. You asked me, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji, would you like
Yes.
with that?
Okay, Prabhu. Yes, Hare Krishna. Sri Vidura said, O chief amongst the great sages, I heard by disciplic succession that Heracles, the original demon, was slain by the same form of sacrifices, the personality of Godhead, Lord Bore. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Sorry. Thank you, Mataji. That is from Srimad Bhagavatam. This section was Srila Prabhupada's diary letter to Hayagriva, May 23rd, 1971. Okay, and it is New Vrindavan. Can you request Jai Mataji to read the letter, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, yes, thank you. My dear Hayagriva, please accept my blessings. I'm in due receipt of your letter dated 3rd May 1971 and have noted the contents. That new Vrindavan is developing so nicely, is very much encouraging to me, so increase it more and more. It is sounding so much attractive and making me want to return to USA even sooner. We are now very busy in Calcutta on account of a Hare Krishna festival, and we are drawing 30,000 people daily. You'll be glad to know that we have purchased 2 pieces of land in Mayapur at rupees 20,000, and they are going to construct some nice temple there. Regarding other matters, better you settle up things amongst the GBC members. I have created GBC members for peaceful negotiation of management of management affairs. But if you GBC members sometimes agree and sometimes disagree, that is not very good for management. But if sometimes you have disagreements, I shall settle them up. Soon I shall be returning to USA and I shall meet you all there. Hoping this will meet you in good health. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Prabhu Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji, yeah. So here Prabhupada is happy with how things are going in New Vrindavan. It looks like Hayagriva Prabhuji is in charge over there, and he's happy with the progress, and it just pleases him more and more. And he's saying that whatever you are doing there, it's so nice that it's making me now feel that I need to come there and visit you even sooner. So he's overall very happy with the progress and um, everything going on nicely in New Vrindavan. And then he's saying that he's updating Hayagriva to say that also he's very happy with what's going on in Calcutta because the festival that we have been he's been referring to in the last few letters. It's going so nicely and it's drawing like thousands and thousands, 30,000 in almost daily. And he's so happy because also they are giving prasadam and everything. And it's so encouraging as well that they've now been able to purchase more land to build more temples in Mayapur. So that's a huge progress on his part as well. And then then this thing about GBC members, it looks like there is a some sort of unsettlement going on between some GBC members because he established that in 1970 purely, I think, to manage and supervise the affairs of so many temples because the movement was getting bigger and bigger, and he felt that the need to establish the GBC because he had seen his own his own Guruji, when he departed, there was some unrest after his Guruji departed, and he didn't want that history to be repeated again. So then he decided to form GBC. So he felt that, he was getting old. When he left, there should be someone governing, like a governing body to manage so many temples, because they are kept on building more and more temples, and the movement was increasing. And the idea was that he had laid the foundation, so they should not be changing anything. They should not be implementing as such, or diverting anything, or deviating from what he had already set up. But it looks like here that there was some disagreement between members, and he's saying that you try and settle it, but where you can't, then he will step in. And that is always Prabhupada. He's always, he's got like fingers everywhere. He knows what's going on, and he could sense that there is an unrest in GBC. And we heard a few things more and more happening later on in the years as well, how bad it happened in GBC. But here it's like almost like a start. He could feel something's not right, and he's saying nip in the bud almost, try and settle it before it gets too bad. And if it doesn't, then he will try and settle. And he's just saying he will come to USA very soon, and he will meet everyone there. So yes, Prabhuji, that's what I've learned from this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Very beautifully summarized. So any other comments, dear devotees? Okay, so please Srila Prabhupada's letter. So here one point is which is striking, the disagreement. So peaceful negotiation, and another one is disagreement. So this generally always there will be some disagreements. All disagreements would reconcile in truth. So there, whenever something comes, it is always to be calm, quiet, and then peaceful. And Krishna, in the beginning, he says that Manaha Prasadaha Saumyetam Maunam Atma Vinigraha. Atma Vinigraha. Controlling oneself. Do not speak any word which may agitate others, which may like feel guilt, or which may feel something else different. So here, calm down, and then Atma Vinigraha. It is very, very important. Manaha Prasadaha Saumyatam. As we speak more words added to our conversations, it will only bring the intensification, intensifying. So, and also among the devotees, even kind of asking forgiveness unnecessarily also. When we are, for example, Parikshit Maharaj, even if he was cursed by Brahmana, again, he did not go, he did not counteract. There, Prabhupada describes. And also, Semik Rishi, he is also transcendentally situated person who has transcended to Jagruti, Swapna, Shushuptishu, the three stages. And what Parikshit has committed, like he has put the dead snake in his net, and then he has written back, and then he was contemplating, I did a mistake. But he did not go and ask forgiveness from the Shemika Rishi. Devotees know that because they're all centrally situated. They can understand. The communications go very subtle. They do not have to say explicitly, God, please forgive me. Then what happens? It will make other person guilt. They understand the communication would happen very subtle. Lord is there. And after that, even Shemik Rishi also did not go and ask for forgiveness from Parikshit Maharaj for his child's mistake. And Parikshit did not take it very seriously as well. And then whatever Lord brings them, he takes it, accepts it as it is. So no conversations. Conversations will deviate our day-to-day from devotional service. So there, Lord directly says that one. Ye brahmanan maidya chipato archayantaha tushya kritaha smitoksita padbhavaktraha vanyanuraga kalayatmaja vadgunantaha sambhodhayanti aham eva aham upahutastaihi. And whoever is the conversations between a brahmanas or a people or a devotees, two devotees, it is happening. If one person is saying some kind of fast things, if opposite person with a smiling words and accepting everything without any counteractions, such a kind of person is attracting my heart. Whoever is taking those words without saying any word, sambhodhayanti aham eva aham upahutastaihi. So then likewise, Lord glorifies one side Brahmanas, another side his devotee. So here, even the Vaikuntha, Jaya and Vijaya, we may be thinking that they might have offended the Brahmanas by stopping them. But actually, Lord is indirectly glorifying Jaya and Vijaya as well. Sambhodhayanti aham eva aham upakutastehi. They did not take any kinds of offenses towards them. As soon as the Brahmanas cursed them, what they have done, without speaking further, arguing that they have done something right or their duty, without arguing, Sajjohari Anucharu Bibbetaha Tat Padagrahu Apapatam Atikatarena. They immediately fall down on the feet of Brahmanas. And then they did not counter, they did not support their actions. Immediately they have fallen. Because when one person is saying something, other person needs to be very calm and quiet. And then here one has, this is called Atma Vinigraha, not to speak. Manaha prasadaha saumyatvam maunam Atma Vinigraha. Bhava samsiddhiri iti etat. Bhava samsiddhir. One should be living in the existence of pure mind. No need to speak any word, a single word. Oh, I have done this one. I did not do that one. Those conversations which may not help other person, no need to say a single word out of our mouth. But though it may happening, it is going on in the mind. That doesn't mean that we need to speak. We have to control the mind. Manaha prasadaha saumyatvam maunam atma vinigraha. Bhava samsiddhir iti etat tapo manasa buchyate. That is the austerity of the mind. When we are speaking, what happens? We are breaking the austerity of the mind. This is tapo manasam uchyate. And also in another way, when qualities of the devotees, Krishna speaks, Abhayam sattva samsiddhed jnana yoga vyavastitihi danam damasha yajnasha swadhyayah tapadhyavam ahimsa satyam akrodha jagah santirapaishunam daya bhuteshu alolukvam madhvam hrirachapalam तेजः क्षमा धृतिः शौचम् अद्रोहो नातिमानिता न अतिमानिता भवन्ति सम्पदं दैवीम् अभिजातस्य भारत. So here na atimanita, one does not expect any respect from others. Again, it doesn't matter, one may become a paramhamsa, one may become a neophyte, but still as long as he is in the path. So here Krishna says this is the Bhavanti Sampadam Daivim Abhijatasya Bharata Nati Manita. These are the few things. So whenever we come to like a disagreement, sometimes it happens generally. Any two living entities, they have got different opinions. It is not necessary that both needs to exactly match and agree. It is not needed. In Krishna consciousness, all agreements would reconcile. Everyone chant Hare Krishna, everyone do bhajan. That is where it would resolve. And also coming to devotees, exchange of the love between the devotees, how it needs to take place. And so mostly it needs to be subtle and a more loving way, not materialistic way. Materialistic way means exchange of the gifts. So there are so many material gifts. If we avoid that one, that would be nice. And what is the best then? giving nice prasadam. That is the most beautiful thing between the devotees. Any materialistic objects, they may be either avoided, not used, and maybe they do not see it again, and sometimes it may not be needful. It would work for other, it may not be working for others, and we do not know likes and dislikes. But of course, that is a love, but maximum we keep it with the nice prasadam. The prasadam which is offered to bhoga, offered to Lord, and if we give that one to the devotee, that is the most precious, loving exchange between the devotees. Okay, so that is otherwise materialism, it will bring so many things. There will be again innumerable kinds of conceptions. But best thing is prasadam, or which is offered to the Lord. That is the only thing. Okay, so these are few points just to say how one can make the situation very nice and harmonious and loving relationships. One side is controlling our mind, and the other side is also um, how to say words, how to react to the situations and circumstances. All the time, manaha prasadaha saumyatvam. Okay. Maunam Atma Vinigraha. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, there, Srila Prabhupada describes the situation where Semikarishi says, glorifying that Tiraskrutaha Vipralabdaha Chiptaha Shaptaha Hatavapi Nasya Tat Pratikurvanti Madbhaktaha Prabhavopihi. So there, Prabhupada describes it more elaborately. Um, so Parikshit Maharaj, he did not go back again. The Shemika rishis. So that those conversations are very beautiful. Uh, for a more insight, we can have look into this one later on. Okay, as part of the Purushottama mantra, for we shall enter into Bhagavad Gita recitations by Radharani Mataji. Uh, 15th chapter. Hare Krishna Mataji, when you are ready, Mataji, can you start with invocation prayers, Mataji, please?
Hare Krishna, everyone. Dhanyavad Pranam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Bhagwan Vacha Udva Munam Adaha Shakam Ashwatam Prabhur Avyayam Janam Shri Yasya Pranani Yastam Vedasa Vedave Adasmadvam Prastastasya Saka Guna Prabha Vishaya Prabhalaha Adastra Mulani Anusan Tatani Karmanu Bandini Manusya Loke Na Rupa Masya Tatu Parapyate Nantu Nacha Nacha Sampratistita Ashwatam Enam Shu Viruda Manam Ashanga Sastrena Tridena Tridva Tata Padanta Parami Parim Parimat Gitamyam Yasmain Gatana Nivartani Nuya Tam eva chadyam punsam prapadye yataha pravirti prastra purani nirmana moha jita shanga dosha adhyatma nitya vinivirta kamaha dvande vimukta shukha dukha samjanai gachanti amuda padam ayayam tat Not pasayante suyo na sashanko na pavaka yad gatva na nipratante tattama paramam mama. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm just reading on my iPad. Just a moment. मम मम वंशो जीवलोके जीवभूतः सनातनः मनः सृष्टानीन्द्रियाणि प्रकृतिस्थानि कर्षति शरीरं यद् अवानप्ति यच्चपि उक्तमस्ति स्वरः प्रीथे बन्धनि संयाति वायुर्बन्धन् निवासयात् श्रोत्रं चक्षुस्पर्शनं च रसनं घ्राणम् एव च अधिष्ठाय मनश्चयं विषयान् उपसवेते उक्ष्वामन्तं स्थितं वापि भोजनं वा ऊनान्वितं विबुधा ननुपश्यन्ति पश्यन्ति ज्ञानचक्षुषः यतन्तो योगेन शरणं पश्यन्ति आत्मनि अवस्थितं यथान्तो अकृतात्मनो नैनं पश्यन्ति अश्रितसः यद् अदित्या गतं तेजो जगत् पश्यन्त्यखिलं यच्चरमंसि यच्चनं तच्चेतो वेदि नमः गम अविश्य च भूतनि तरयामि अहम् ओजसा पुष्णामि कोसादिः सर्वः सोमो भूत्वा रसमुद्गः अहं वैश्वानरं भूत्वा परिणं देहम् आश्रितः वनपनाः समायुक्तः पचामि अन्नं चतुर्वेदम् असवस्य चाह मेधे सन्निविष्टो मातः श्रीमते ज्ञानम् अपोहनं च वेदाश्च सर्वे अहम् एव वेद्यो वेदान्तकृत् वेदावेद एव चाहम् हरे कृष्ण त्वम् इमो पुरुषलोके केसरश्चक्षरः एव च केशरः सर्विणि भूतनि उतस्तु केसरः उच्यते उत्तमः पुरुषस्त्वम् अन्यः परमस्मिति उदर्चः यो लोकत्रयम् अविश्य बिभर्ति अव्ययः ईश्वरः यस्मत् केसरम् अतीतोऽहम् अक्षरात् अपि चोत्तमः अत्रोऽस्मि लोके वेदे च प्रतितः पुरुषोत्तमः यमम् एवम् असम्मूढो यान्ति पुरुषोत्तमम् सा सर्वविद् भजन्ति मां सर्वभाविनो भरत इति गुह्यतमं सहस्रम् इदम् उक्तं मया नघ एधा भूत्वा बोधिमं त्रेताश्च भरत हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna, Muhammad, 3 times, Mataji.
थैंक यू
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everybody.
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
This is Bhagavad Gita उपनिषद ब्रह्म विद्या योग शास्त्रे श्री कृष्ण अर्जुन संवादे पुरुषोत्तम योग नाम पंचम अध्याय।
Okay, Mataji. So beautiful recitation. Okay, so that is from Purushottam. Going back to Srila Prabhupada's letter. Sorry. Any other comments, dear devotee? From Srila Prabhupada's letter.
My dear Varaha, please accept my blessings. I'm in due receipt of your letter dated 3rd of May, 1971, and I've noted the contents. That new Vrindavan is developing so nicely. It's very much encouraging to me. So increase it more and more. It is sounding so much attractive and making me want to go to USA even sooner. We're now very busy in Calcutta on account of our Hare Krishna festival, and we're drawing 30,000 people daily. You will be glad to know that we have purchased 2 pieces of land in Manipur at 20,000 rupees, and they are going to construct some nice temple there. Regarding other matters, better you settle up things among the GBC members. I have created GBC members for peaceful negotiation of management affairs, but if you GBC members sometimes agree and sometimes disagree, that is not very good for management. But if sometimes you have disagreement, I shall settle them up. Soon I shall be returning to USA and I shall meet you all there. Hoping this will meet you in good health. Your ever well wisher. Good job.
So, thank you, Mataji. Any reflections, Mataji, you want to add?
Just give me a minute.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Okay, dear devotees, any other comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I was just going to say, I think keeping Krishna at the center of everything we do, that would help as well, because if there is any disagreement or differences of opinion or anything, it should always be Krishna, and rather than taking pride or taking, in whatever we do, we shouldn't have that, because sometimes these things happen because there is something there. But if we just let go of all that and just always serve Krishna, then hopefully it shouldn't come to that point.
Very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Can I request Hanuman Mataji to read the translation and purport of this letter? And also recite the shloka as well, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Sure, thank you, Prabhuji. Tiraskrita vipralabdha shabda shipta hatapi nashyatat pratikurvanti tad bhaktaha prabhavopihi. The devotees of the Lord are so forbearing that even though they are defamed, cheated, cursed, disturbed, neglected, or even killed, they are never inclined to avenge themselves. Purport as well, yes, Prabhuji.
Mataji, yes, please.
Rishi, is it Rishi Samika?
Yes, Rishi Samika, yes.
Rishi Samika also knew that the Lord does not forgive a person who has committed an offense at the feet of a devotee. The Lord can only give direction to the shelter of the devotee. He thought within himself that if Maharaj Parikshit would countercurse the boy, he might be saved. But he also knew that a pure devotee is careless about worldly advantages or reverses. As such, the devotees are never inclined to counteract personal defamation, curses, negligence, etc. As far as such things are concerned, in personal affairs, the devotees do not care for them.
But in the case of their being performed against the Lord and his devotees, then the devotees take very strong action. It was a personal affair, and therefore Samika Rishi knew that the king would not take counteraction. Thus, there was no alternative than to place an appeal to the Lord for the immature boy. It is not only the Brahmanas are powerful enough to award curses or blessings upon the subordinates, the devotee of the Lord, even though he may not be Brahmana, is more powerful than a Brahmana, but a powerful devotee never misuses the power for personal benefit. Whatever power the devotee may have is always utilized in service towards the Lord and his devotee only. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
So this is a very beautiful circumstance how devotees would act. So then coming to here, so Srila Prabhupada describes on the purport, Atimanita. Atimanita. In this shloka, here Krishna says about the Natimanita. In this one, Prabhupada is describing these qualities, explaining all of them. So this is Akkuroda, and then for the Apaishinam means that one should not find fault with others or correct them unnecessarily. Apaishinam. So this is one of the things we should not name, again, one more point as part of the Purushottamans. When we are speaking, I, you, these two words always must be avoided. Either it is in personal life or professional life, wherever it is, I and you must be avoided for a peaceful life. Otherwise, one will be unnecessarily, his mind will be agitated. It is not I and you. Generally, for a broader perspective, we are our may be used based on circumstance. However, that may be also can be avoided. It is not that I am you. It is the problem, something we need to address how that can be resolved. That's it. But without I and you, we can form the sentences in such a way it would not point to the person. It is actually trying to address the problems. Okay, this is apaishunam. This is again art. So how the situation can be harmonized. Apaishunam. And here one point I would properly describe is natimanita. Not expecting honor. This is again Trunadapi Sunejena Amanena Manadena Kirtaneha Sadaharihi. Not expecting honor applies to the Sudras, the worker class, which are considered according to the Vedic injunctions to be the lowest of the four classes. They should not be puffed up with unnecessary prestige or honor and should remain in their own status. It is the duty of the Sudras to offer respect to the higher class for the upkeep of the social order. So this is not expecting honey, but in the devotees, they have got all the divine qualities. Sarvaihi gunaihi tatra samasati suraha. Because they're engaging. Yes, Shasti Bhakti Bhagavati Akinchana. They're engaging in the devotional service of the Lord. They have got all good qualities. All the 26 good qualities are described here. 26 means divine quality, transcendental qualities. These are the wealth of a devotee. This is the Brahma Sampatya. It is not the money it would come with us, or assets, or land, or house, or family members. It is not. First, these are this is our real asset, the transcendental quality. This is our real wealth. When we have this wealth, then what happens? All the living entities in this cosmic manifestation, they are all belongs to the Lord, and we feel that, see the Lord in every living entity. Mansaitani bhutani pranamid bahumanayan. Ishvaro jivakalaya pravishtu bhagavaniti. Lord is there in every living entity. Ishvaro jivakalaya pravishtu bhagavaniti. Kapil Bhagavan describes. Otherwise, he says that sometimes one may be worshipping the deities in the home after the initiations or doing everything very nicely perfect. But still inside there is still the prestige. Oh, I'm to be honored very nicely, given respect so much among my devotees because I know many things. That is the Hitvacham Bhajite Modham Bhasmani Eva Jihoti Saha. Such kind of worship, with worship to the Lord, it is just the pouring the ghee into the ashes. When such kind of feelings are there, pouring the ghee into the ashes. Kapil Bhagavan describes that one. Whoever is worshipping me here, it is very beautiful point just to bring. Uh, uh, Basmani eva jihoti saha. He is otherwise arche kurute archa vidambhanam. They're just showing off. That's all. That is he says that one. Canto 3 in the 29th chapter, where Kapila Bhagavan he describes juhoti saha. Basmani eva juhoti. Yo mam sarveshu bhuteshu santamatmanam ishwaram chitvaacham bhajite maudhat basmani eva juhoti saha. Basmaneva Jihotisa. So here he says that one who worships the deity of Godhead in the temples but does not know that the Supreme Lord as Paramatma is situated in every living entity's heart must be in ignorance and is compared to one who offers oblations into ashes. In the previous shloka, he also mentions Kurti Archa Vidambhanam. I am present in every living entity as a super soul. If someone neglects or disregards that super soul everywhere and engages himself in the worship of the deity in the temple, that is simply imitation. It is a vidambhanam, imitations. But actually, the transformation in the heart did not take place. Okay, so just a few statements in the context of coming to the Prabhupada's letter. So the disagreements and the sometimes members agree and sometimes disagree. Okay, these are the few points just wanted to highlight. Maybe it will help the devotees. And any questions, dear devotee? And one more point just wanted to bring, how the Lord will be pleased. He says that there he describes very beautiful points. Sambhore, I think 16th chapter is there. The Lord instructions to his devotees. Sambhodayanti aham iva aham upahutastaihi. So it is again very beautiful statement. Can I request anyone to read this translation and purport shloka as well, please? If anyone would like to say.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dalvat Pranam. Can I read it?
You want to? ये ब्राह्मणान् मयि धिया विपतो अर्चयन्तः
Ramana Ketya Pitu Jayanta.
would everyone follow? So first I'll let me say. ये ब्राह्मणान् मयि धिया क्षिपतो अर्चयन्तः तुष्यत्प्रदः स्मितसुदोक्षितपद्मवक्त्राः वाण्यानुरागकलयात्मजवद्गृणन्तः सम्बोधयन्ति अहमिव अहमुपाहृतास्तैः. Okay, dear devotees, line by line. ये ब्राह्मणान् मयि धिया क्षिपतो अर्चयन्तः
Brahmana Mahidya Visipto
Jayanta
Aryanta
Archayantasa
तुष्यत्हृदयः स्मितसुदोक्षितपद्मवक्त्राः
Shraddhaha Sridayaha Smita Sudokshita Padmava Vaktraha
वाण्यानुरागकलयात्मजवद्गृणन्तः
कलयात्मजावद्ग्रन्थः
सम्बोधयन्ति अहम् इव अहम् उपाकृतास्तैः
सम्बोधयन्ति अहम्
अहम्
इवाहम्
इवम्
उपारितास्तहे
Once more. ये ब्राह्मणान् मयि धिया क्षिपतो अर्चयन्तः
ये ब्राह्मणानां
ब्राह्मणान्
शिपितो अर्चयन्तः
तुष्यद्हृदः स्मितसुलोचितपद्मवक्त्राः
पुष्यद्रुतः
स्मितसुदोक्षितपद्मवक्त्रः
स्मितसुदोक्षितपद्मवक्त्रः
वाण्यानुरागकलयात्मजवद्गृणन्तः
मया अनुरागकलात्मजवद्ग्रन्थः
कलयात्मजावद्गृणतः
सम्बोधयन्ति अहमिव अहम् उपाकृतास्तैः
सम्बोधयन्ति
अहम् इवम्
अहम् उपारितः
जयन्ति
Hare Krishna Prabhu, how to pronounce the last two words in the first line, Prabhu? Last two words.
Shipato Achayantaha. There is a first P. That means A needs to be substituted there. Achayantaha. There is yes, but actually it comes in the Shipata Achayantaha. You would see as the visarga at the end when in the synonyms. But this yes is used when we are combinedly reciting with other next line, next word. Then yes and general R will be used. That is the indication that there is yes. You can also combine the next word.
Okay, Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Yes.
How to do the last sentence, last two words also, Prabhu?
Sambhodhayanti aham iva aham upakrutastaihi krutastaihi. Upakrutastaihi, being controlled by them.
पूजा दिदी आइन्जेलसम्म त आइपुग्छौँ कि
Upatra, how to say, Prabhu? Upatra?
Upakrutastaihi. Upakrutaha.
म फोन गरेर भन्छु अलि बिस्तारै आउनु
Upakrutaha.
Upakrutastaihi.
Upakrutaha.
Upakrutastaihi.
Upakruta astaihi, Prabhu.
Hrudayam.
Krutastaihi.
Krutastaihi.
Upahrutastaihi. Got it, Prabhu. Yeah. Upahrutastaihi. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you.
Would you like to read the translation purport?
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhu. It has been observed in many instances in the Vedic scriptures that when... Sorry, I directly jumped onto the purport, yeah. On the other hand, they captivate my heart who are gladdened in the heart and who their lotus faces enlightened by nectarian smiles respect the Brahmans even though the Brahmans utter harsh words. They look upon the Brahmans as my own self and pacify them by praising them in loving words, even as a son would appease an angry father or as I am pacifying you. Hare Krishna.
That's perfect.
It has been observed in many instances in the Vedic scriptures that Brahmans or Vaishnavas curse someone in angry mood. The person who is cursed does not take it upon himself to treat the Brahmans or the Vaishnavas in the same way. There are many examples for this. For instance, the son of Kuvera, when cursed by the great sage Narada, did not seek revenge in the same harsh way but submitted. Here also, when Jaya and Vijaya were cursed by four Kumaras, they did not become harsh towards them. Rather, they submitted. That should be the way of treating Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. One may sometimes be faced with a grievous situation created by a Brahmana, but instead of meeting him with a similar mood, one should try to pacify him with a smiling face and mild treatment. Brahmanas and Vaishnavas should be accepted as earthly representatives of Narayana. Nowadays, some foolish persons have manufactured the term Daridra Narayana, indicating that the poor man should be accepted as the representative of Narayana. But in Vedic literatures, we do not find that poor men should be treated as a representative of Narayana. Of course, those who are unprotected are mentioned here, but the definition of this phrase is clear from the Shastras. The poor man should not be unprotected, but the Brahman should be especially be treated as the representative of the Narayana and should be worshipped like him. It is specifically said that to pacify the Brahmanas, one's face should be lotus-like. A lotus-like face is exhibited when one is adorned with love and affection. In this respect, the example of fathers being angry at the son and sons trying to pacify the father is smiling and the sweet words is very appropriate. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So this is one beautiful point again, how one has to speak even the other person is saying something with a smiling voice, trying to, but here Lord does not say that. He says that one in this particular chapter itself, if anything done by his servants, it comes to the master. So on that perspective, I am now trying to pacify you, O Brahmanas, both Kumara, likewise. So there he says that Etato Pashudo Mahyam Jayo Vijayevacha Kadati Kutyamam Gedro Bohokratam Atikramam. Okay, so here anything goes, so master will be the responsible. If something disagreement comes in between the discourse, then the leader is Srila Prabhupada. So he will be looking after them. So likewise, when there is something is happening, again, whoever is looking after the Sangha, so it will come upon them. So there are few points, just wanted to bring this agree and disagree things. Again, the Sangha means it is conversations about only the Supreme Lord. No two-way conversations, no personal. We do not use Sangha for two-way personal conversations. That needs to be taken outside. If it is helpful for all other devotees as an example to know some things, Lord manages those things. Spontaneously it would come, that is all right, but kindly avoid any kind of direct one-to-one conversations. It may be personal to them. Okay, so this is, otherwise it would come upon whoever is looking after the Sangha. Okay, so this is few things like Prabhupada is wanted to, I shall settle them up. Soon I shall be returning to USA and I shall meet you all there. Okay, this is few things which come upon those 26 qualities of the devotees. Okay. Okay, thank you so much, dear devotees, for kindly participating. Any other comments, dear devotees? Okay, that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. Okay, friends, happy. We shall move to our Sunday Ramayana part. Any questions, dear devotees? You may ask questions. Sometimes it may make us think why Prabhuji is saying like that. But this is everything from the scripture point of view. It is not personal opinions or thoughts. It would help devotees where they needed to rectify themselves in case, or like Krishna is saying, Vai manah prasadaha saumyatvam. It is an austerity of speech, austerity of the words, austerity of the activity, which will make us to progress in the spiritual life. And we feel this is proceeded. One will be completely satisfied for our satisfaction, for the pleasure of the Lord.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Then what?
So, like, I know sometimes we don't have done something wrong, but still cannot say just sorry to other person. Like, as you say, like Pariksit didn't go or Rishi didn't come to say apology or like, forgiveness. Similarly, we don't have to do that, right?
So here, for asking forgiveness, when it is a really forgiveness, then we may ask. but very small things, we would say, please sorry, or please sorry for these things. That is not needed.
Not needed. Okay.
That is small things, because devotees, those conversations or thoughts, the communication happens very subtle. Lord reveals that one. So here, one of the, I think, Srila Prabhupada describes that, I think one here says, so here, in this particular statement, Parikshit Maharaj, he contemplates after he coming back, so putting the snake in the neck of Shemikrishi, he contemplates, I am uncivilized and sinful due to my neglect of Brahminical culture, God consciousness, and cooperation. Therefore, I wish that my kingdom, strength, and riches burn up immediately by the fire of the Brahmana's wrath, so that in the future I may not be guided by such inauspicious attitudes. This is Parikshit Maharaj's contemplations. But however, he did not go and ask for forgiveness from the Shemika Rishi, because, oh, I have put this snake on your neck, please forgive me. He did not ask. That is what Prabhupada is mentioning. Parikshit Maharaj also knows that the devotees, of course, they understand. So Shemika Rishi addressed Parikshit Maharaj while he was uh, speaking to his son Shringi, saying that he is Mahabhagavad. Parikshit is Mahabhagavad. They do not count that. And on the other hand, Parikshit, Sukadev, on the other hand, this Parikshit Maharaj also knows that Shemika Rishi is also a great sage. He understands that one later on. Okay, so that's why both are on that same transcendental platform. They did not go and asking for mistakes, but whatever has come, and then they take it as it is. Okay, just the circumstances. But only the three things: austerity of the mind, austerity of the speech, austerity of the actions.
Because even though he did not go for forgiveness, but he still said, like,
Yeah.
we want to still like to price Chit, still wants to do something about what he has done wrong, isn't it?
Yes. So on the other side, Shemika Rishi, he prayed to the Lord, Almighty Lord, please forgive for this innocent boy's curse. So that it reconciles there. And here, Parikshit Maharaj, he was contemplating, oh my dear Lord, let something come upon me because of that, for that incident. Okay, that is here from Parikshit Maharaj's side. Okay, so they deal with directly with the Lord, not directly with the other person.
Also, nice example given this is what you call Narad Muni has caused that Kubera, and they have just accepted because Vaishnava, we just have to accept it.
We simply accept it. Only just Lord only saying through their mouths. But we do not take that knowingly, we do not take that advantage, take it as an advantage and do those things. But if it is only spontaneous things. Any other questions that we do?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare
Because we do deal with many people in this material world. Sometimes if we don't say sorry, though even though it is not our mistake, okay, but people may not understand, isn't it, Prabhu? Even when we are dealing with the non-devotees or devotees.
Yes, dealing with material people, that is another thing. So far have been talking on only the devotees only. So coming to material world, so there are always, they expect, again, going back to the chapter here, what is that one? Bhagavad Gita in the 16th chapter. All of their qualities have been described. Dambodharpo abhimanasya krodha parusham evacha ajnanam cha abhijatasya parda sampadamasirim. They're all abhimanasya. Abhimana means they expect lots of respect from everyone. And they have got pride. And they will get very angry. And paurusham as well. Ajnanam, mode of ignorance. So in front of them, we always say sorry to them. Though there are no mistakes, then they will be very happy. Sorry, likewise. We don't address them as Prabhuji like that in the material world, materialistic activities, but we say, oh, apologies, sorry, I didn't mind, don't mind like that. So that is again different conversation. Then we must say sorry and all this stuff. For those people, they expect the respect. That is a different kind. Yes, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So, based on the people with like devotees or non-devotees, we have to take a call, okay, how to deal the situation. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Then what, Prabhu?
So that is any other things? Otherwise, we shall move to our dear Hanuman, who is the most beloved devotee of Ramachandra. Okay, so in the Ramayana part, in the last session, we have been discussing how Hanuman was started to jump from the Mahindra mountain to Lanka. So during that time, he expanded his gigantic body, and whenever he was moving with the force, even all the trees and the plants, by his force, they're also flying behind him. Just like when the relative is going home, some of the family members are accompanying with him for some distance. Likewise, the trees, plants, they're also accompanying Hanuman with that force that he is going. It was appearing like that. Okay, that trees, shrubs, and flowers flew behind him in the wind, raised by his movement, like relatives following a dear one setting out on a long journey. Very beautifully, our Hanuman is jumping to Lanka. Yeah, and Hanuman is thought of Rama, and Sampati was right. Because Sampati, he has got a eyesight, he can see hundreds of miles very clearly. And he also sees that Sita Mata was sitting in the Ashokavana. Now here Hanuman is thinking Sampati was right. Simply by remembering Rama's name at the end of life, anyone would cross the entire ocean of material suffering. And Sampati has mentioned, as soon as Sampati gave his words the assistance, his service is just speak the news of Sita Mata to Hanuman, Angada, Jambavan, that company, saying that he just simply passed the message, saying as a service, that is service. So there, the Rishi has, even though he could give the wings to Sampati, but he has mentioned to Sampati that you stay here and serve Ramchandra by your words, by your message. So Sampati is the elder brother of Jatayu. Jatayu and Sampati, they are brothers. So once upon a time, Jatayu and Sampati, they were flying in the sky like when the children, they are playing together. And one day they have thought that we shall fly to the heavens. And they were flying. And Jatayu was just going up and up. So during that time, Sampati thought that the sun rays are very, very very fierce. So at the time, Sampati wanted to protect Jatayu, and then he went above Jatayu and tried to protect with his wings shadow. So Jatayu was saved, but however, Sampati, his wings got burnt and he fell on the Vindhya mountains. And in the Vindhya mountains, there he went, but somewhere or other by crawling, because his wings were burnt, he could not fly anymore. And later on, there his child was helping him with all the food and all those necessities. And then within that mountains, there is a sage Aranyaka, or his name is also Aranyaka, it is also addressed like that. He mentioned that even though I can give your wings very quickly, but you have a service to do for Ramchandra. So you stay here and you give the message. And then whenever Ravanasura was taking Sita Mata, so during that time, Sampati has witnessed that Ravanasura and Sita Mata's cries and Ravanasura is kidnapping her, taking to Lanka. So whenever Hanuman and Pati came for searching to search for Sita Devi, at the time, Sampati was in the beginning, he was thinking that I have got so many monkeys here, I will eat them. Like what Sampati was thinking. And then as Angada was mentioning, Jatayu was the devotee of Ramchandra. He has given his life to Ramchandra to protect Sita Mata. As soon as now this vulture wanted to eat us. And then when he was contemplating in a haste mode that he could not find the Sita Mata at that point of time, Sampati heard the name of Jatayu and very curious, who is this speaking about my brother Jatayu, and thinking that Jatayu has left his body. And then Sampati, now he wanted to hear more. And then saying that later on Angada, Hanuman, they have related all the past times what has happened about Jatayu and how Ramchandra has cremated. And then Jatayu has attained his heavenly abode, something like that. Then Sampati was a bit compassionate and inclined, became friend of them. And then Sampati has understood that they are searching for Sita Devi and said that Sita Devi is in the Lanka. So I can see still from here, though I cannot fly, but I have got the power to see from hundreds of miles. Okay, that is the vulture's capability of eyesight. So after saying that, because as soon as he gave that message and he started getting these wings again growing from his wings, those feathers, and then he is able to fly. So because he is in complete faith on the sage, so again the Rama service is going to be successful. And Sampati is mentioning to all the party that you will all be victorious in soon. You will achieve your mission and you will soon see Sita and you'll give the message to Ramchandra. Ramchandra will come and then win over Ravanasura. So everything would manifest. Hanuman is contemplating on that. Yes, Sampati was right. Okay, now, simply remembering Rama's name at the end of life, anyone could cross the entire ocean of material suffering. Okay, so now Hanuman is thinking this 800 miles were nothing, and Hanuman felt confident of success as he soared toward Lanka. That is the mood of Hanuman. Okay, soon he would reach Sita and reassure her. If any Rakshasas try to stop him, that would be their last act on earth. So Hanuman is just full of energetic in the service of Lord Ramchandra. He would dispense swift justice to the Rakshasas. Then returning to Rama's presence, he would await further commands. That is the mode of Hanuman. Okay? We shall go and read one paragraph by each devotee. Okay, can you request Garini Mataji to start with first paragraph, Mataji, please? Garini Mataji. Asha Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna. As the flowers flowing, Hanuman fell into the dark blue ocean. They made the sea appear like the star-spangled firmament. The trees dropped with great splashes like meteors fallen from heaven. Hanuman's outstretched arms looked like a pair of five-hooded serpents rising from the mountain top. The great monkey seemed as if he were drinking up the vast ocean and swallowing the sky. His eyes blazed like two sacrificial fires, and his coiled tail flew behind him like a flag. His reddish brown face shone like the sun, and the wind rushing past his armpit thundered like a cloud. He seemed like a comet moving through the heavens with a fairy tale. Hare Krishna. Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Very beautiful. Can you request other devotee to read next paragraph, please?
Okay.
Yes, Mataji, please.
Hanuman reflects in the blue sea, appears like a ship rocking with speed over the large waves that were raised by the wind of his flight. As the sea rose up, it revealed whales, sharks, and serpents throw about in confusion. Hanuman rushed through the sky like a winged mountain, drawing behind him white and red birds, clouds. As he entered and came out again from the clouds, the appearance like the shrouded and visible moon. Gandharvas with their wives rained flower on him. Even the sun, honoring his service to Rama, did not scorch him. The wind god raised with him, warming him with a gentle breeze. Gods and rishis extolled him along with Nagas, Yaksa, and other celestial beings. The god of the ocean observed Hanuman flying above him. He considered how to render him a service, there, thereby pleasing Rama himself in his depth. There was a large mountain named Min, Minka. The ocean god approached Minka and asked him to rise above the water, offering his peaks to Hanuman as a resting place. The mountain ascended and began to grow upward. It emerged from the sea with a great roar, forming billows, falling with a crash on all sides. The golden peaked mountain rose swiftly and shone beautifully, with nagas and kinnaras sporting on its slopes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, we shall come to the discussions once we read it. Okay, can I request next paragraph? Another devotee, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, may I?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Hanuman saw the mountain ahead of him filling the whole sky, and he thought it to be an obstruction. He prepared to strike it with his chest. The mountain deity assumed a human form and stood on its peak. O Hanuman, requested by the god of the seas who wishes to serve Rama, I am here to offer you shelter. The sea god was formerly rendered a service by Rama's ancestors, Sangara, who filled the ocean when it had been dried up by the angry Agastya Rishi. I too am indebted to your father Vayu, who once saved me from Indra. Will I continue, Prabhuji?
You can read the next paragraph as well, Mataji.
Okay, Maneka told Hanumana that in a long past age, many mountains flew in the sky. Afraid of the mountains, the rishis asked Indra to cut their wings with his thunderbolt. Vayu had saved Maneka from Indra. The mountain therefore wished to repay his debt to Vayu by serving Hanuman. He asked the monkey to alight on his peaks and rest for a while.
Great. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, can I request other devotee to read the next two paragraphs, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. May I, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji. Next
Okay.
two paragraphs.
Okay. But Hanuman was not inclined to stop. He replied to Mainaka, I am grateful and I thank you for your offer, but the time for resting has not yet arrived. My duty is not yet done. Please forgive me. You have already rendered me a service by your kind words. Now please allow me to continue. Hanumana respectfully touched the peak of the mountain and then rose still higher into the sky. The mountain and the sea God both looked up at him and offered prayers and benedictions for his successes. In the end, the other gods also watched Hanuman. They were astonished to see his power, desiring to taste him and see more of his prowess. They uh, approached Sursa, the mother of the Nagas. They asked the snake goddess to assume the form of a Rakshasi and stand before Hanuman. Indra said, we went to see his power as well as further expand the fame of the great servant of Rama. Let us see how he overcomes you, O Naga lady, for he will be greatly tested when he reaches Lanka. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, just one point here. Surasa is a demigod. Is a mother of Nagas. Sometimes when devotees are presenting, putting as an obstacles, so but they pose Surasa as a demon, but she is a demigod. Okay, so just one point to note down. Okay, we shall move on and then further we'll come to discussions and then can I request other devotee for next two paragraphs, please?
May I, sorry.
Sursa went into the sea and suddenly rose up in front of Hanuman in the form of a vast and terrible Rakshasi. She boomed out to Hanuman, the gods have ordained you to be my food. O jewel among monkeys, quickly enter my mouth. Brahma had granted me a boon that none who come before me can escape being eaten. Sursa opened her cavernous mouth, which was set with rows of fierce teeth. Hanuman smiled and said to the Naga goddess, I am on a mission to serve Ram, the Lord of creation. You should not impede me. If I must be eaten by you, then wait here. Once I have completed my duty, I shall doubtlessly return, and you may devour me as you please. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, can you please start a devotee to the next paragraph, please?
Very good.
Yes, Mataji, please.
The Naga replied that he would not be able to pass her by, for such was the boon given by Brahma. She expanded her mouth even more as Hanuman came closer. Her jaws stretched for 8 miles, but Hanuman quickly grew to 16 miles. She then expanded her mouth to 20 miles, and Hanuman again exceeded that size with his body. As the naga grew even further, Hanuman suddenly contracted himself down to the size of a thumb. Entering her mouth, he went inside her throat and quickly came out again. He returned to his normal size and said, I have honored Brahma's boon. Now let me pass and fulfill my mission. I wish you well. Uh, one more paragraph over? Or
Okay, yes, ma'am. You can read, Mataji.
the Naga goddess resumed her original form and praised Hanuman, blessing him to be successful in his quest. Hanuman moved on with the speed of Garuda. He saw many celestial chariots drawn by lions, tigers, elephants, birds, and serpents as he coursed along the heavenly airways. Gandharvas, Yakshas, Vidyadharas, and other celestial beings were thronging the sky. Great heroes who had lain down their lives in battle rose upwards through the lofty region, their eternal, ethereal bodies shining like fire. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so can we request the devotee to read next paragraph, please?
Hare Krishna, may I, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Where am I reading to? Till alas or?
As and when, Mataji, this paragraph.
Yeah, no, but where till? Alas?
Yes, Mataji, you can read up to here as well. Next paragraph is
Okay. Okay, undertakings. Okay. As Hanuman shot through the sky, he was seen from below by a Rakshasa woman called Simhika. She gazed hungrily upon the monkey's enormous body. Desiring to devour him, she used her mystic power to suddenly seize his shadow as it sped over the water. Hanuman felt his progress arrested. He looked all around and saw beneath him Simhika's hideous form rising up from the sea, her terrific mouth open wide to swallow him. She thundered like a mass of clouds. Hanuman fearlessly entered her mouth. As he entered her body, the Siddhas and gods cried out, alas. But Hanuman, whose body was as hard as a diamond, began to tear the demon's vital parts. He cleft her heart in two and burst out from the side of her body. The Rakshasi screamed and fell dead into the sea. Seeing Hanuman unscathed and flying onwards, the gods praised him, saying, your success is certain. He who possesses firmness, vision, understanding, and skill never fails in his undertakings. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, another devotee, please. Read the next paragraph.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
Starting from Hanuman continued on,
Yes,
isn't it?
Mataji. Yes.
Hanuman continued on, adored by the divine beings. Soon he saw in the distance a large island which appeared like a mass of clouds on the horizon. As he came closer, he saw the shore of Lanka, skirted by forest and high mountains. Hanuman returned to his normal size in order to avoid being seen. Flying over the island, he came upon the city of Lanka, which was perched on the summit of Trikuta mountain. As he climbed down the mountainside, he considered how to best enter the city. Shall I continue, Prabhu?
Yeah, one.
Hanuman surveyed the region. It was covered with beautiful woods filled with flowering and fruit-bearing trees of all kinds. There were meadows and lotus ponds and pleasure groves of every description. The aroma of flowers wafted on cool breezes and sounds of various birds filled in the air. Hanuman made his way to the edge of the city, which was encircled by a wide, deep moat. A golden wall ran around the city. Large pennants with small golden bells tied to them blew in the wind atop that wall. Ferocious Rakshasas ranged on the ramparts that ran along the wall. In their hands, they held formidable looking bows and other fierce weapons. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, then, okay, next devotee. All devotees covered. Okay, so in that case, I shall read and then I will stop there. So behind the wall, Hanuman could see lofty mansions and palaces, some golden and others as white as the moon. He climbed a high tree and gazed upon the city. Hundreds of tall and impressive buildings ran along elevated uh, white-tiled roads. In front of them were many wonderful golden archways, adorned with flowering creepers. The city gave off a roaring sound and appeared like the capital of the gods. To Hanuman, it seemed to be sailing in the car. Lanka, which had been constructed by the celestial architect Vishwakarma, was inconceivably splendid and it awed Hanuman's mind. Okay, we shall stop there. Okay, coming to the summarizing this part. Okay. Jai Mataji, would you like to give any bullet points, Mataji, to summarize? Thinking the last session, but would you like to give again, Mataji?
Yes, I think we've covered quite a bit today, and there are some beautiful stories woven inside this as well. Here we see that Hanuman, on his mission, he was just unstoppable. He had always kept Ram in his mind all the time, and he was blessed by all the, there is a mention that he's blessed by all the Gandharvas and the Rishis and the Nagas and Yakshas and all that. And that's because they are like, they are with him as well. So they know that he's on a mission for Ram, and they are like supporting him. And he's also here in the first one. He's like almost compared to like a comet as well, because how a comet shines very brightly in the sky, looks very orange, fiery. Similar, Hanuman was unstoppable. He was so fast. And he had so much speed, so that's why he was compared like that. And then we see that because he was traveling so fast, then the wind also was causing the waves, the ocean almost to open up, and we could see lots of inhabitants of the ocean exposed. And we see that the sun, here there is a mention, it's quite sweet actually, that the Gandharvas and their wives also came out, and they showered flowers on him, almost like blessing him. And the Gandharvas are peoples, celestial people who are into music. Then we see that the sun also did not scorch him. So as a child, we know that Hanuman had taken sun in his mouth, and now here the sun is, and at that time everyone was afraid, but here we see the sun also is in supporting him and did not scorch him, because Hanuman was traveling very fast, quite high as well. Then we see that the wind god, so his own father Vayu, also raised with him, like supporting him and giving him cooling him down, because he was traveling so fast. It could have been making him quite hot as well. So we see that everyone is now coming together and supporting him. Then he comes to the mountain, a deep depth in the ocean. There was the mountain Mainak, and lovely story about Mainak is that so Prabhuji, there might be, I think, something that I may not have understood, but maybe you could correct me. So if I cover just the Mainak first, so Mainak, in those days, in the Satya Yuga, at that time, Dwapar Yuga, those early yugas, the mountains could fly. They had the wings, and so when the mountains flew, they would sometimes they would go from one place to another. But by doing that, the people on the ground, the animals, the sages who were doing their sacrifices, who were doing their austerities, sometimes they would see a huge thing over their head, and it would frighten them a little bit, because sometimes they would think it's going to fall on them. So anyway, they all these people on the ground approached the demigods, Indra as well, and they wanted some protection, because all these mountains kept on flying. So when Mainak did that as well, Indra came to cut the wings of the mountain. But before that happened, Vayu, the wind god, quickly came to the rescue and picked up the mountain and took it away and put it deep down in the ocean to save that mountain. So the mountain was always indebted to the wind god Vayu. So that was one thing. And then there is a mention of the ocean, the sea god, where it says the sea god was formerly rendered a service by Ram's ancestor Sagar. So Sagar also, that's being covered, I think, Meena Mataji, Usha Mataji, and we would know that there is a story of Sagar as well. So Sagar, how he was born. So Sagar's father, Bahuka, I don't, Prabhuji, I don't know whether it's worth saying this story or not, or maybe leave it. We can skip that, no problem. Yes, I mean, it's a lovely story for another time.
You can stay, Mataji, in a few bits, Mataji.
Okay, so Sagar's father, Bahuka, he was a king, and he goes, because he was defeated by his enemies, they go into the forest. And he takes his wife with him, and he goes to the forest, and he does many penances there, and then he passes away. But when he passed away, one of the wives, he had, I think, two wives, he had a few other wives. One wife was pregnant at that time. And the wife was pregnant, wanted to also become sati, because in those days they could become sati. But some sages, one sage found out and stopped her because she was pregnant. And so she didn't then become sati. But the other wives became jealous of her, because they didn't have children and she was now pregnant. So they wanted to kill the child. And so that they poison her. And but obviously the Lord is a protector, and we see how the Lord protected Parikshit Maharaj as well in mother's womb, Uttara. So similarly here, the child was born, but with poison in the mouth, and that's why the name was called Sagar, because it's like there is a poison but free from or something. So the Sagar story was that. And then also he had wives who one wife gave birth to 60,000 children, and the other wife gave birth to one child. And when he had done this yajna, the reason I'm mentioning is because sometimes these stories are interwoven here. And so when he did the Ashwamedh Yagna, Indra being Indra, he was always worried about his position. He steals the horse, and he takes the horse away. So the 60,000 children who were born from one of the wives, they all go and look for this horse, and then they find this horse next to Kapil Dev that Prabhuji mentioned today. So Kapila Muni, they found the horse next to him, and they thought Kapila Dev had stolen the horse, and then they got very angry at him, and they blame him. And but Kapil Muni, he just looks at them, nothing happens. The all the 60,000 children, those people, they died, children of Sagar, they died. But it wasn't because of Kapil Muni cursing them. Kapil Muni didn't do that. It was through his own, the heat, they died because they had committed an offense as well. And the other son also comes to look for the other son was not good either, but he comes to look, I think, for the horse, Shumed horse. But it was the son's son who finally finds this horse and begs forgiveness from Kapil Muni. And so that is the story of Sagar. Here, but the other interwoven story is that how that the 60,000 children also, when they were looking for the horse that Indra had stolen, they dug the whole ground, and it almost became like a big trench, and then the water got filled. So that water that came from the heavens, Ganga, and so that is how that was filled, because this Sagar also was an ancestor of Hanuman, so it was from the same dynasty, Suryavamshi dynasty, and so that ocean was filled, and also because I think the heavens, the Ganga came from the heavens and filled it. So there's all these stories interwoven, and I thought it was nice because they are all in the same dynasty of Lord Ram. That's why. So anyway, coming back here, we see that Mainak wanted to repay the debt. So she thought that, oh, Hanuman is on a mission. I want to give him some rest. So that's why she rose up from the ocean, because the ocean god also wanted her to do that because he was in debt. So Mainak rose from the ocean and politely asks Hanuman to see if why don't you rest? Because you got a long journey in front of you, like we do to any people who are going on a long journey. We offer them some food, water, and some rest. So she was very nice. So she does that. But Hanuman was on a mission. He did not want to be stopped by anyone, because he thought that I would rather do my work first and then rest afterwards. So he had that like one-pointed determination. It's mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. It's Vyavasaitma Amika Buddhi that he had. So he declines very politely. He touches her. He pays respects to her and at the mountain, and takes blessings and touches her, and then he carries on forward. And then we see further that Indra and the other gods also were watching Hanuman, and they were absolutely amazed and astonished at how much power he had. And sometimes people who are doing so good, they are being tested more and more, because they want to see, well, how far they will go to. So in this same manner here as well, Indra and the other gods also, they wanted to test him to see what more could he do, because they were like completely in awe of him. And so then they approached Surasa here, the mother of the Nagas, and Prabhuji said she was like a demigod as well. So she assumed the form of the Rakshasi, and she said, oh, well, I want to see your power. Lord Brahma has granted me a boon, and he had, that anyone who comes near you, they will not be able to pass beyond you. So she said, well, I want to see your, I want to, you have to come to my mouth and this and that. So yeah, Hanuman was like, okay, you want to see this. So he actually first discusses with her, like in a very mature way. He says, look, I have got somewhere to go to. I promise you I will do that deed first, because that's really important. I promise you, I give you my word, I will come back, and then you can kill me. You can devour me. So Hanuman was like, he tried that bit first, but Surasa was like, no, I want to I want to, I can't let you go past me. So then Hanuman thought that, okay, I will have to now display my intelligence as well, my power. So Sursa opened a mouth, and it says cavernous mouth. So it was almost like a cave. It just went on and on, like for miles and miles. She expanded, and Hanuman just grew as well to match her mouth. And we can see, we know the story as well, that how cleverly the more she expands, Hanuman expands as well, so that he could enter her mouth. And then finally she expands it so much, he suddenly becomes so small, and he goes in and out again. And that way he keeps his promise. And he says, look, I've let you honor Brahma's boon as well. So now I want to fulfill my mission, and please let me pass. And so he was very courteous. He was very polite. He didn't argue with her. He didn't fight with her to say, why are you doing this? He didn't kill her or anything. So that was very nice of Hanuman as well. And then we see further. So he then, Sursa was very pleased with him, and allows him to pass, and gives her the blessings as well. So we can see that everyone wanted to see that power, that intelligence from Hanuman, and they were succeeded. They saw Hanuman use his intelligence. He didn't just use his physical power, he used his mental, his intelligence as well. So then we see further how other celestial beings were coming up, and giving their blessings. And here there is a mention that great heroes who had laid their lives for, in the battle, even their bodies were shining. So we see that all in the sky, above Bhu level as well. There is another level as well, where we see lots of celestial beings. So we see all of them, they came and they started giving their blessings. And then we see that he goes further, and he comes across Simhika. Now Simhika had this power where she would just see the shadow, and she would just pull them down. She would just be where she was, and she would just be looking at the shadow, and she would just grab them. So that's how powerful a Rakshas she was. And so she sees Hanuman's shadow from where she was, and she sees him, and so she grabs. And Hanuman could feel that suddenly there was this resistance, and he was thinking, oh, why am I suddenly being slowed down? What's happening? He couldn't find anyone pulling him physically, but yet he could feel the resistance. But it was Simhika from down below. She was just looking at the shadow and dragging him down. And finally, she brings him down, and she again opens her mouth so wide to swallow him. And this time, Hanuman enters her mouth and goes in deep, and then just kills her. And he just, pushes her and tears her apart, basically tears her apart from inside, and then she just drops down dead. So all the gods then praise him, and say that your success is, very guaranteed now. And then there is a difference. Why he treated Surasa differently, why he treated Simhika differently. And we can see that Surasa just wanted to test him. She was actually a demigod, and she meant no harm. She was just testing his intelligence, whereas Simhika was really nasty person. So we see that sometimes, obstacles can come our way in different forms. In our life as well, there might be many obstacles as well that might come our way, and we will just have to navigate through those obstacles differently. We can't always have the same approach all the time. With all these obstacles that may come and hinder our path. And so we see that, just some examples that sometimes children have exams. So at the moment they have exams. So we see that the children might think, oh my god, this is so hard, and I don't want to do this, and but they have to persevere. They have to work hard, and then they have to persevere with their exams, because in the end it is for their own good. They may feel very tired, they may feel very pressured or whatever, but then it just have some rest in between and persevere. So perseverance is the thing that people need to do here. But also sometimes we have in our own spiritual practices, we find that as well. Sometimes we are unwell, sometimes we may be extremely tired or whatever, and sometimes our sadhana may not go according to plan the way we want to. But again, we can't just give up completely. Our mind may become very restless, our chanting may suffer a little bit, but we just have to continue anyway, persevere all the time, and not just give up and not decline and think, okay, it's okay this time, maybe next time I'll do it, maybe once, twice, maybe fine, but not continually. And same with looking after a family as well. Sometimes can be family, immediate family, relatives, and it can get a bit too much, but that is our duty. We have to do our duty, and we can't just say avoid our duties. So we have to navigate all these in our own life as well. And Prabhuji, I think so further down as well, Hanuman has gone further, we can see. And it's very important here what Hanuman is doing. He's seen Lanka from far, and he's in completely awe, because Lanka is like almost sitting like on a Trikuta mount, on a mountain. And we can see how opulent it is. But also we see that Hanuman is surveying, and he's not straight going in and with his guns blazing. He's actually surveying. So that this is what people do, that like in enemies in the war, there is some surveillance done as well, so that you get an idea of how to approach, what to do with the enemies, and what would you need also, so then you then come prepared to attack the enemy. So he's now surveying from all sides, like who's where and what's happening where. And so, yeah, that surveillance is quite important, when, especially in a mission like what Hanuman was about to do, because he needed to come prepared, because Lanka and Ravana, they were no ordinary, Ravana he was mighty and ferocious. So they needed to come prepared. So he's now doing that. He's coming. So it's that homework that he's doing beforehand, before he starts doing something. So that preparation is very important as well. Prabhuji, shall I stop here? And sorry, you might need to add more.
Thank you, Mataji. Very beautifully summarized, Mataji. Okay, yes, Mataji. So we hold there, and then we also request devotees to ask questions and share, and then discussions, Mataji. Okay, so dear devotees, if you have got any questions, or you wanted to ask anything or share, reflect, okay, kindly ask, kindly share, kindly reflect. Hare Krishna. Sita Sundari Mataji and Ram Lala Prabhu.
Mataji, not summarized. She explained everything with the stories, with the pastimes, and with our practical life so nicely. So I don't have anything to put in. Very nice, Mataji. Thank you. Very well.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you for your blessings. I think we are learning from Prabhuji. That's what it is. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. We are learning from Srila Prabhupada and from the scriptures from Ramayana. Okay, Gaurangi Mata, we'll hear from Gaurangi Mataji. Hare Krishna, Gaurangi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Would you like to share anything, Mataji, for us to learn from this Ramayana?
This is I haven't read Prabhuji. Where we going there? Which part of this one, Prabhuji? For Hanuman?
So Hanuman is flying from other side of ocean to Lanka. On the way, he will come across Mainaka mountain, and then later on the Surasa, who is a Naga demigod, just to test Hanuman, and then another demon, Simhika, come and stop Hanuman. But Hanuman is very determined. He does not stop anywhere and he does not compromise. He will proceed for the Rama service.
Okay. He made already Sita with Sita, Prabhuji?
He is going to search Sita Devi,
Okay.
but in the middle, Hanuman finds some difficult situations how to deal with. But how Hanuman has crossed all of those obstacles.
Okay. Okay. That is a little bit story. I know that one I tell before. I think that. So Hanumana, he went to Mainaka Parvat. Then Mainaka Parvat told him, "Do this, isn't it, Prabhuji?"
Yes, Mataji, yes.
Yeah, do this. Then he said, "No, I cannot. But I need to go. Yeah, because I need to go find out Sita Maharani." So he went to Lanka. Then he uh, look after their Lanka, how to find Sita. Then he went Bibhishan house. He saw the Tulsi um, plant there. Then he went Bibhishan house. I think that probably I forgot everything. And then he met one Lankini as well. Then Ashok Batika. He went there. After that, he met uh, Sita Mata.
Yes.
Yeah, then he and Hanuman Maharaj and Sita Maharani talk about each other, how to trust. They have a secret word. They talk about that. Then they after finally they trust each other. I think then he how to met the Ravana. Then he went to Lanka's Darbar. He also he first he fight the Ravana's people. Then he fight to them. He destroyed his garden. Nice man. The garden name I forgot. He all of the garden is he destroyed. Then he also he the Ram who gave to him his tail one fire. Then he all of um, fired the Lanka. I think that Prabhuji not much. No Prabhuji, sorry about that.
Very
That's
beautiful.
it, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Very nicely explained, Mataji. Very beautifully reflecting, sharing those things. Thank you so much, Mataji. We will see in more detail later on in the coming session. It's so beautiful. Thank
Little
you,
bit,
Mataji.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so just one point here, when Hanuman is going with a determination, so it is we may be taking like, oh, we also wanted to be like that. We also should face the challenges. How to face the challenges? What weapons do you have to face the challenges? But this one, most of the times, we lack when we are okay. We will say that you just go to the fight, go and fight and do with so much of intent, win the battle and come home. We will say that one. But what weapons you need to have? So you need to take arrow, bow and arrow, you take sword, and you need to take, you prepare all those things, and then you equip everything, then you go to the battle and with a proper plan how to fight. Then when in between you may come so many things, then you will face all these things. But what are the weapons for our day-to-day life? Again, coming back to it will 16th chapter, those first three slokas, 1 to 3 slokas of 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. These are all 26 divine qualities. When we Ram appreciates Hanuman that he has got all the good qualities. This is again going back to tapasya, austerities, and penances, and learning of the Vedic knowledge. When he has got everything, then he will be successing in his path. He will be able to how to know how to deal with Mainaka mountain when such things come across in his way. How to deal with Surasa, how to deal with Simhika. Sometimes we would see these things in so many places presentations, but again all things would reconcile to the basic principles of cultivating the qualities, transcendental qualities within the mind, within our words, within our acts. Those are our real weapons. And then with love and devotion, all these qualities will be manifested in the devotees. So those points, just to reflect. Okay. Hemlata Mataji, would you like to add anything, Mataji, to this?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna Mataji. Very nicely summarized, Mataji. I didn't know so many stories, but I have heard this story of I don't remember actually, but there is name of Bhagirath also. Who was Bhagirath? Who did tapasya, and then Ganga Devi came down onto earth to get rid of the ashes. I think then he immersed the ashes of his 60,000 brother
Yes.
or ancestor into the Ganga Devi. Then that's why the one name of Ganga Devi is Bhagirthi also.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't know
I
this.
did cover that part. Yes, that's definitely. He was asked. Kapil, they've asked him to bring the grandson to pray and bring. So I think he went to Bhagirath, but Prabhuji will tell that story. I didn't cover that because that was
Okay. Yeah, because this Bhagirath, you did mention Bhagirthi, but it came into my mind Bhagirath, so I couldn't relate who was Bhagirath and what happened. But long time back, I heard this story. So Prabhu, if you just clarify this bit, please, what happened that time?
Yes, Mataji. So in just a brief overview, so appearance Ganga Devi. So in the story of the Ganges, where we see actually in the Ramayana part, it is told by Vishwamitra to Rama and Lakshman upon reaching the Ganges. So here, like Mataji has mentioned, so there, Sagara, he has got children, and one child is Amshuman, who has got all good qualities, and other 60,000 children. They're all called Sagara's children. Um, so whenever they were burnt, and then Amshuman, he goes there to the down where Kapil Bhagavan was there, and then he offered his prayers to the Kapil Bhagavan, and then he saw that horse, and then he brought back the horse. But later on, Amshuman was thinking, so now all my brothers were burnt to ashes. Now we need to get them back to Godhead, relief from that condition. So, and then Amshuman could not complete how to deliver them. And then his child Dilipa, and he also could not complete. And then Dilipa sends further, he's a Bhagirath. So, and then he is determined mission that he prays for so many years. Sorry, he meditates for so many years on Ganga Devi, sorry, not Ganga Devi. I think some Brahma, something like that. Okay, let me just go and see here. And then it was advised that once Ganga river flows from the heavenly planets down to the Patala region, where the ashes of Sagaras are there, then they will all be relieved. Then Bhagirathi, he prays to Ganga Devi, and then Ganga Devi says, if I come, there should be something who would hold my force. Then later on, he came to know that Lord Shiva only can help. And then he prayed to Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva is pleased. And then Lord Shiva is after accepting that, let Lord the goddess flow into the earth. And then, so this is very beautiful pastime. And there is a Lord Shiva. Whenever Ganga was coming, and then he, by his head, he holds that the force of the Ganga Devi. And then he slowly releases Ganga Devi from his head. And then when the Ganga is flowing, Ganga river is flowing behind, and Bhagirath walking in the front, showing the path to Ganga Devi, how to go. But when he was going like that, again there is another obstacle. There is a Jahnu, the sage, who was meditating by the force of this Ganges river. It was like he has got a Chamana cup, that water was mixed with the Ganga river, and then he sipped all the Ganga river in one gulp. And later when Bhagirath looked back, that Ganga river was not there. And then he thought that the sage has taken this, sipped this all Ganga river, and then pray to again this great sage. Later on, he has released the Ganga river through his ear, and that's why Ganga river is called Jahnavi. So one is because Bhagirath brought Ganga Devi into the earth, it is called Bhagirathi. Jahnava, Jahnu Rishi, he has released the Ganga river through his ears. That's why it is also called Jahnavi. Like a number of names, again, inclusive of Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva in different ways at the same. Ganga has got many rivers, many names. This is just a brief story, Mataji, but this is the pastime of the Amshuman is here. One is the name is mentioned. So the famous king Bhagirath finally succeeded by dint of his great asceticism. He pleased Brahma, who ordered the Ganges to fall to earth. The river Ganges, known in heaven as Mandakini, emanated originally from Vishnu's foot. When he kicked a small hole in the shell of the universe, the waters of the causal ocean, in which all the innumerable universes entered, falling down to the heavens. The water was entered by the goddess Ganga, who then, on Brahma's order, brought it down to earth. This water filled the huge excavation made by Sagara's sons and thereby became the great ocean. It flowed down to the subterranean region where it liberated the 60,000 princes by covering their ashes. It is that same sacred river made holy by the touch of Vishnu's foot, which you now see before you, O valiant princess. To this very day, anyone whose ashes are placed in this river is immediately liberated. That's why in our any of our ancestors or family members are passed away, when bodies are cremated, it is always advisable to cremate the body by the fire and then take the ashes and then wedge into the Ganges river. Sometimes they throw the bodies as it is, but this is how it needs to be done. That is most good way as well. Sometimes, but devotees in devotees' life, they have spiritualized their body. They cremate with a specific process, burying the body, but they do not have any fears, kind of so many desires. Sometimes people who suicided, they are burnt very quickly. Their bodies get burnt very quickly, turn to the ashes and merge into the Ganges. So that way, some bodies are treated like that. But always, it is auspicious to burn the bodies. And for the devotees, it's specific process because their bodies are transcendental. They are completely spiritualized. Even the body is buried under the ground, devotees will go and worship those. But it does not happen for other people. They are not yet purified. The mind, the desires are still there. that is called say different. It is like a cremation ground is not good for non-devotees. For not devotees, that process is different. But devotees, it is all sacred. If you go on there and worship them, because their bodies are spiritualized. Okay, that is pure. Thanks to share, Mata.
Thank you, Prabhu, for sharing, and thank you, Mataji. You have in-depth knowledge of Ramayana. I can see that.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Okay, Mataji has got lots of knowledge.
Oh, no, not me. I don't have any knowledge, Prabhuji. I thought it's Prabhuji who has the knowledge. The reason I mentioned also because in the other, we are covering this Canto 9 and this same story has been covered a little bit there. So I just thought, but yeah.
You are very honest, Mataji. Yeah, but you remember so much and it's very good. You always share your reflection, which is very good, Mataji. Which shows that you have knowledge. So you can't deny, we know.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. It's the kind words and sharing the devotees. Okay, devotees reflections. Okay, any other questions? Any other comments? Okay. Usha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Very beautifully explained, Jai Mataji. So many stories, really nice. The takeaway is Prabhu. So then, when Hanuman goes for the search for Sita, because he is thinking that Ram gave his the job, and then he was not going to take any rest, whatever that comes like when it comes the gold, mela, or powers or anything, but he is not attracted to anything, and he just carry on for his work, and then he's going to for search for Sita. That is his main aim, and then he is not anything whatever comes in his way, but he is going through, and then he start carry on his journey. So beautiful, Prabhu. Hanuman is so nice. He's a nice character for that. What is that work he's doing, but not going to take any rest and then carry on for his work. So nice. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji, for sharing. Very beautiful. So there one of the statement by Prit Maharaj about the devotees. Ma javu tejaha prabhaved maharidyabihi. Titikshaya tapasa vidyayacha. Vidyayacha by the transcendental knowledge and by the patience and tolerance. Titikshaya tapasa by austerities and by the knowledge. Dedipyamanya ajita devatanam. They're always effulgent. Devotees of the Lord are always effulgent. Ajita Devatanam. They are surrendered souls to the Lord. So he says, Ma jatu tejaha prabhed maharidyavihi. And kulesvayam rajakulat vijana. When we are dealing with those devotees, we need to be very careful. And we should not show any power onto those devotees. I'm just mentioning here this statement, this shloka describes about titikshaya tapasa vidyayacha. So Hanuman has got vidya, all the transcendent knowledge, that tolerance, how to deal with the problems, and he has got that that immense powers. Only keeping only Lord Ramchandra in his mouth. He was in the beginning of this chapter. Hanuman was in his mode, he wanted to serve Ramchandra. That is the only, that is Titikshaya Tapasa Vijhayacha. Dedipyamanya Ajita Devatan. And by the time he has got all the knowledge from the sun god and also mercy and the blessings of all the demigods as well unto Lord Hanuman. So just a few points. Thank you very much, Mataji. Rajalakshmi Mataji wanted to share anything, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, wonderful explanation from you and to Jai Mataji. And yeah, it is very good. Prabhu, nothing to add. Yeah. Hare Krishna Prabhu. The only one thing I wanted to highlight is today we have 6 to 7 that millet session, Prabhu.
Yes,
So I
thank you,
just
Mataji.
wanted to remind everyone, whoever can make it, to join in the Sangha. And Prabhu, I will be attending Purushottam Masa event, Prabhu. So I would not be able to be part of the session. So I will share Satya Prabhu number to you, Prabhu. So if he has any things, he can get in touch with you, Prabhu.
Yes, sure, Mataji. This Prabhuji has got Zoom link, Mataji.
Yeah, I shared our Sangha Zoom link, Prabhu.
Yeah, sure, Mataji.
So, and yeah, so I will share his contact number also to you, Prabhu.
Yeah, I think I got Mataji. You have shared with him.
Okay, Prabhu. So, yeah, so sorry, Prabhu, I will not be there, but Lalita Devi Mataji, I think might be there. I will speak to her.
Sure,
So, Hare
yes.
Krishna, Prabhu. Yeah,
Thank you, Mataji. We'll update in the team, in the group.
sure, Prabhu, sure, Prabhu. Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Yes, I did do this. Unless if I got any other further updates, I will share anything. We can conclude our session for today. Can I also request all devotees to say, Sri Lord Hari Bol Jai Mataji for sharing this.
Prabhuji, no, Prabhuji. Hari Bol to Prabhuji as well.
Hari
Bol, Hari
Hari
Bol,
Bol,
Hari Bol, Hari
Hari Bol,
Bol,
Hari Bol, all.
Hari Bol,
Yes, to all the devotees. Hari Bol to all.
Hari Bol,
Hari Bol, Hari
Hari
Bol,
Bol,
Hari Bol,
Hari Bol,
Hari Bol.
And to
Hari.
Prabhuji as well.
And for Prabhuji as well.
Exactly.
Because,
Hari
yeah.
Bol.
Hari Bol,
Hari
Hari Bol,
Bol.
Hari
Hari
Bol,
Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Thank you so much, Mataji. Okay, so that's a very wonderful session today. Thank you so much. So we shall conclude our session and continue with the lecture. Panchakal Patarabhusha Patitanam Pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Namo
Namo Namaha. Anantakoti
Antakoti
Vaishnava
Vaishnaviki Jai
Jai Srila
Srila
Prabhupada ki
Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Jai. Hare Krishna Conscious
Hare
Day.
Krishna.
Conscious Day.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे